Hey, it's Carrie with Canary Quilts, and we are on block number 6 of the 2024 Designer Mystery Block of the Month. This is a block of the month through Fat Quarter Shop that I'm doing. This is the third one I've doing, so I've done 3 years now. I love doing these. I love getting them in the mail, and I love just putting these together because the colors are comforting and the blocks are not too hard, not too easy. So it's just pure fun when I put these together each month. And then to put it together like this. So the pattern doesn't tell you, the finishing kit doesn't tell you to put it together as you go, but I like to do that. So that's what I'm doing. So since we're on block 6, I've got 2 rows done. So I've got my flowers done for this row also. So block 6 is called Abundance. It's by Brigitte Heitland. And that's what it looks like, which you saw my block behind me. And I will have her information in the description down below if you want to check out her website and see what else she has available. But she is the guest designer for block number 6, and this is the block that we're doing. So this one actually isn't too hard. It reminds me a lot, if you get Sew Sampler from Fat Quarter Shop, the block of the month in that you get is baskets, and so it reminded me a lot of that when I was putting it together. Anyway, I'm just going to go through how to put this together, how I did it, how I organized myself, and then you get to see the block when it's done. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you're new here, and you'll get notified of this content, and you'll get to see how this turns out in the end if you're not doing it. Also, 2025 is available for pre-order if you want to get into their Designer Mystery Block of the Month. I do highly recommend it. The patterns are very easy to read. The finishing kits are beautiful. The fabrics are always beautiful. I've been very happy for the 3 years that I've been in it. So anyway, let's get started on block number 6, Abundance by Brigitte Heitland. To get started on block 6, which was designed by Brigitte Heitland, I'll have her information in the description down below. It's called Abundance. And the first thing I thought when I saw this is if anybody gets the Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop, the block of the month is baskets. So I looked at this and went, oh, that's all half square triangles. And it's not. It's actually put together with flying geese. So I thought it was interesting. There's no wrong or right way to put these together. So I just thought it was interesting. This shouldn't be too hard of a block to put together. I've got my A pieces, which are the corner. My B pieces are down here. My C pieces are part of all the flying geese and the points that you see in here. And they're on each end here. D is the base of all these flying geese, and this is our basket. The other thing I'm doing is this top part here I'm doing with a paper piece. I'm part of Piece and Quilt Sampler Quilt Along at Fat Quarter Shop, and I bought their foundation paper piecing kit, and we have the right size for that block. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm using the 4-inch square and a square. I didn't cut fabric E per the instructions. I cut it per these instructions. And then with fabric C, I just eliminated 4 squares and then cut my corners per the instructions in here for this. So that's the only difference I made here. If you're not familiar with these, I'll go over them real quick on how to do these paper piece from It's So Emma. I really like these. I use them in the rolls and the pads. Anyway, those are my pieces. It shouldn't be too hard to put together. Oh, I wanted to show you how much fabric's left from all of this. They give you an ample amount of fabric each month. It's really nice. You get a lot left over. All right, let's start putting this together. It's not going to be too hard. To use the square and a square quilt block foundation paper pieces by It's So Emma, they come in these pads, and you can just rip off as many as you need. I've ripped off 1. The instructions tell you how big to cut for placement number 1, and then the pieces you need for the rest of the placements. So we need 1 square for 1. You need to cut 2 squares for the rest of the pieces, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you cut those squares on the diagonal. What you want to do first is put your paper on the back of the back side of your fabric with the printed side up. I'm going to pin it just right here in the center, and then I'm going to fold it over on the line on number 2 and trim 1/4 inch. So now I can take one of these triangles that I cut and lay it here. I'm lining up my points. So I can now go over to my machine on a shortened stitch and stitch on the line here between 1 and 2, and I'm going to lock stitch at these 2 points. There we go. I have sewn from point to point here. I can take my pin out. Now I can go over to my iron and iron this back. So you just do the same thing for the rest of these numbers. I'm going to go over to 3, fold on the line, trim 1/4 inch, sew and iron. Same for 4 and 5. There's my square and a square. I've got it all sewn together and ironed. So now what I'm going to do is just trim on this solid outer line, and that's what it says right here. It says to trim on this line. So that's what I'm gonna do. And there's my square and a square. Perfect. The way it is. So now you can just rip the papers off. And if you used a shortened stitch length, it just rips off. Very nice. There we go. The last thing we're gonna be doing is making flying geese with these pieces and these squares. And basically, this is like a big flying geese unit. We're going to use these squares also, put it on here, and just do on the diagonal on each side, just like a big old flying geese. And we're going to make 2 of those. And then our block is essentially ready to put together. So you can draw your diagonal line. You can draw your diagonal line along here. Sew on the line, trim 1/4 inch, and iron towards the corner. And the same with your flying geese on each side. You can do your diagonal, draw your diagonal, sew on the line, trim 1/4 inch, and iron. So I'm going to get those ready and we can put our block together. Here's all my pieces. We've got 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, except we have to put these 2 pieces together first. So it's a pretty easy block. I'm not going to show assembling these 4 rows. I think a very beginner quilter could do this. So I'm just going to put these 2 together to make this row complete, and then when I come back, my block will be put together. So again, another comfort block that's fun to put together. It's gorgeous and will look beautiful in our quilt. There we go, block 6, called Abundance by Brigitte Heitland. And it was not too hard to put together. It went together pretty easy. And it's a beautiful block. So I'm going to trim it out. And this is our 6th block, so we can finish out our 2nd row. And hopefully in the intro, you saw my 2nd row finished. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I love doing these blocks every month. I love the colors. I do have if it's still available, I have links down in the description below. I have the fabrics in the description below. And I have Brigitte Heitland's information in the description below if you want to check it out. And 2025 is ready to pre-order. I have that link down there too. Anyway, I had a lot of fun doing this, and hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get notified of this and all the other content we've got going on, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.